What's up, Plebheads? I'm Neo, joined here today by my brother,
Jdog,
our main man and doctor of Incendido,
Dr. Flame,
and of course, the man, the myth, the legend, the veggie elder of the Balding Plebs.
Briarios.
And it's not the same without you here, Briarios. Great to have you here tonight, finally joining us for one of our roundtable discussions here.
Thank you.
Tonight's topic, let's start it right off with the hot button issue that we want to discuss. You know, the trigger title for the video, of course, is going to send people into a panic. But how about this 15th anniversary, I think I got that number right, 15th anniversary for Monster Hunter on the webpage. Kind of says something special coming in March from what we saw there, guys. So, Flame, Briarios, your thoughts on that?
Well, first of all, just the title showing just the eyes, and if you look at the scaling and the coloring of the scaling has a tinge of blue in it, and that's usually a Tigrex trait. The orange scales and the blue, so that's why I think it would be Tigrex.
Yeah, I got it pulled up right here right now. We're kind of looking at it. I'm really getting a Tigrex vibe from this. I'm just kind of looking over at it right now. I'm going to put it on the screen when I edit this video. I'll put it up on the screen so everybody can see it.
yeah, and if it isn't Tigrex, guys, is there anyone else you could consider it being that would make sense?
If it's a new monster, it will be some type of serpent because of the eyes.
Okay.
Okay.
So, that and the scales. If it was something like a panther-like, it would be have fur, but it's definitely in the reptilian class.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I'm seeing too, and that's kind of why we're all sitting here thinking Tigrex.
Yeah.
Flame, any thoughts?
I'm conflicted with the picture because a lot of people and fantastic eyes like Briarios has say it's Tigrex, but then there's a part of my head that says that it's not Tigrex because Tigrex's eyes are yellow, and it could be a blue light in the background that's causing the blue.
So what monster then do you think it is?
The scales are more of a brownish color, or more of like a tan color, obviously. So it's probably not. But I was thinking it could be something along the lines of like Silver Rathlos, for example, or something entirely new.
What about Gold Rathian?
It could be, but Rathian's eyes don't quite have that shape. That the top part where the scales go over the eye, it doesn't quite have that.
So you think this is
Rathlos kind of sort of does. So does Tigrex.
a dirty trick by Capcom
Mm-hmm.
to use a blue filter to trigger people such as myself who would really like to see Tigrex?
Just remember, it's a small task.
A simple task.
Capcom's a simple task. Capcom is fantastic at trolling us.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's the thing, though. I feel like the Monster Hunter, we talked about that before. The Monster Hunter community kind of trolled itself on that one.
Capcom set them up to troll themselves, so
Fair
this
enough.
Yeah.
could be what this is.
But they could have done the eyes just so you could see the hunter in it. You see it? The reflection of the hunter?
I do see that,
And
yes.
it's some of the original armor with the jawbone.
Yes.
So it could also be doing what you think, Briarios, and giving Jibes a Freedom Unite themed DLC for Iceborne.
My whole thing is Freedom Unite is the most unplayed game by the populace because it was their second game in a series, but it went strictly to PlayStation Portable. So whoever didn't get Crosslink Kai or Ad Hoc Party, you really never played the game to its fullest potential.
True.
A lot of people didn't get the G rank because they couldn't find other hunters to get to that level. So you have a whole stage of G rank levels that was unplayed by the populace. So what they're doing is revisiting everything because that's what World is doing, bringing back everything from Unite, and that's why I got that Freedom Unite deal.
Now, Okay, so we've got ourselves all jacked up here, got ourselves all hyped up here. Maybe March, April, May, that kind of springtime, spring era. Maybe that's when we're going to get this more detailed spring announcement. And maybe that's when they're going to announce something like Tigrex in Monster Hunter World and Iceborne, something like that. So maybe we don't even get a new monster at that time. Maybe that's just like the teaser for the March.
Maybe we just get a trailer.
The spring trailer. Yeah, maybe that's all that is.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I would still actually be okay with that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be disappointed to get a trailer confirming it. That'd
Yeah,
be awesome.
yeah.
I'd love to see Tigrex in full-blown glory of Monster Hunter World's graphics, and that would be great.
And here's the thing. When I first saw that picture, I didn't think about anything else. The only thing I thought about when I saw that picture was Tigrex. Immediately. I didn't think any other monster.
Yeah, it has a lot of Tigrex vibes for sure.
Definitely.
Tigrex was hated, but fun to fight. I hated Tigrex.
Yeah.
Once you learned how to fight him, he wasn't really that bad.
Your nemesis. You fought him if you absolutely had to.
Yep. And he was fun as hell to stagger lock and stun lock because he just kept whining and roaring and shrieking like that. That was cool.
I do remember him being very difficult, though. We died many times.
Yeah.
Initially on him.
Until we learned how to fight him, he was tough.
Yeah, he was the only monster that you would actually lose health when he roared.
Yeah, that was crazy. That always annoyed the hell out of me.
I actually loved their use of, I think it was 4 Ultimate, their use of Tigrex, where they introduced Apex monsters. That was brutal.
Yeah.
The first use of Tigrex in that, because he's harder, so your weapons are bouncing off of him, and he's faster and meaner.
Yeah, I always found him very difficult to fight when he was raged.
Oh, yeah.
Almost to where I would just play, dodge mode, basically, when he was enraged.
Yeah. Yeah, he's no joke for sure. So all right, getting all the triggers, some thoughts and discussions out of the way. I would love to see us get Tigrex before Iceborne, but it very well might not happen. It very well could just be a teaser for maybe a trailer coming in spring, coming in that March, April time period. So let's talk about, I know we kind of discussed this already. Breros, give us your thoughts on the new Hunter rank, on the new rank that they kind of were chatting about. Kind of tease that a little bit.
Well, for the G rank, for them, the level 9 armor, rarely 9 armor and 8, was the G rank sets. So they're going to have to create another level of armor that's, we can get like 480 defense. It'll have to add 200 more defense to the existing armor sets in order for it to be G rank.
That G rank, that would put it up to that next level, right? As you're saying.
Yeah, put it up to the next level because high rank armor just barely survives G rank hunts. So it'll have to have about 200 more defense than what you're experiencing now for it to be considered G rank. Because technically, when they introduced the Arc Tempered, that would have been G rank armor sets, but it's still in the plus range. So G rank is next level stuff. The sets that you have, that like your highest tier set, would be just the entry level just to survive G rank. So it's going to be something.
Well, like I remember when you first went to G rank in the previous games, I think, would it be like 4 Ultimate, 3 Ultimate? I remember when you first went to the G ranks, it's like even like an Arzuros would do like half or 3/4 of your health in one hit.
Yep.
So
Yep, that's why we're gonna have our arc tempered Negagante armor at like 500 defense, getting 2 shot by Great Jagras.
yeah, well, we're laughing about it, but it's probably 100% true.
Yep.
That would mean
Yeah,
that Great Jagras would have to hit me, though.
Gathering Hall.
Yeah.
The Gathering Hall, it would be the only place you could post these quests. And it would not be solo. You cannot solo G rank. You can solo it, but it's going to take you 30, 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not no.
my problem with quests that last that long is I can't play that perfect that long. After about 15 minutes, my like, you know, my focus might slip, and literally you take a hit or two and you're a mess.
It's okay to admit that you have the attention span of a ferret on crack.
Well, it's
Yeah.
fair on speed and crack at the same time.
I was gonna say 15 minutes might be generous for you there, Jdog.
Yeah, I like to finish fights in 12 minutes. I mean, that's where I'm comfortable at. I want to get in there, kick some ass, carve them up, and get the hell out of there.
Well, the thing with rank is you, by that point, you know all the monsters' behavior. Low rank, you learn them. Plus rank, they add an extra move. And then G rank, they add an additional extra move. So each monster is going to get a different finishing move or something that's going to throw you off.
Yeah.
Compared to what they're doing. And the same elements that you're using for high rank, like if a monster to fire or ice, if it's the G rank version, it might be resistant to it. And you have to use a whole nother element. So, and plus the armor sets and the boost is going to be totally different.
Yep. So, Briarios, you know, you mentioned having your Bible with you, having your Monster Hunter Bible with you, your kind of secret strategy with you. Tell us a little bit about this Monster Hunter Bible.
Well, it's basically Freedom Unite, their codex by 500 plays. It has all the armor sets and everything in the Unite universe and some concept of different monsters that didn't make it into the game. So you possibly could see some of these monsters show up.
That would be really cool.
That would be really awesome.
And it's in Japanese. So I'm just going, it's a picture book to me right now.
Google Translate it, man. Yeah. On your note with the being only able to do it in like post quests in the Gathering Hub Briarios, I kind of feel like we're going to get an entirely new area to do G rank quests, like an entirely new Gathering Hub. Because like Generations Ultimate, for example, has a new hall. In the older games, you would go to that city. You'd go to the last city where Lao Shan was attacking, for example, and you go up to this enormous Wyverian dude, and you'd get quests from him, like the guild leader or something. I feel like we're going to have a new area to go to for that. Maybe it's the Chamber of the Fiver or whatever it was they took away from us that you could access from the Gathering Hall, or maybe it's a new area on the new island in the new worlds that we're going to go to, or the old world.
I think we're going to be going to the either going by ship or by balloon. In the Gathering Hub, at the top part of the Gathering Hub, there's a big gong and like a little small stage. I think that's going to be a new person there that's going to launch you to the ICEBORNE.
Crash on that new island, then boom, and Azeroth sits on you. I would love to see that in a new world. Nergigante versus Valstrax. That'd be so epic.
Yeah. I never got to fight Val.
Oh.
Valstrax is only in Generations Ultimate.
We must have more turf wars.
Or Valk.
I want dynamic turf wars where the outcome is not necessarily
Determined.
I want more dynamic turf wars, yeah. Or like where you can take the sides of monsters and like fight with them. Like you could take the side of a great Jagras and like kick an Anjanath's ass. That's kind of
well. I've seen that get taken by a Jagras when he was weak.
Oh, really?
Because yes, if you fight them long enough, like say use non-elemental weapons, certain monsters, and get them to the point that where they're weak and exhausted. I was fighting the Anjanath in his nest. I woke him up, and the Jagras and all his little buddies came and just started wailing in on him.
Really?
And
I have not seen this. That would be cool. I'd like that to be more often.
People kill it too fast, so you don't see that stuff.
Okay.
I would love to see new areas where we don't have the same like base form that we've had in Worlds, where you have your weak, disgusting Great Jagras at the bottom, and then you have your Anjanath above that, and then you have your Rathlos above that. I would like to see a bunch of smaller monsters, like you could have a Great Jagras, a Great Jaggy, a Velocidrome, and all that in this area, and then have a bunch of the middle guys and then a couple big ones. I would love to see that, because then they would all fight.
That would be cool too.
Yeah.
Yes, I'd like that to be more dynamic. That would be a nice change. So it doesn't always feel like you're in like a static, predetermined area. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You would only have those 3 monsters still, though. You'd only have 3 monsters in the area, but it would like pick from a pool instead of set.
Okay, that'd be neat. Anything just to give it some flavor, you know.
Just mentioned all of that, and that's all what Freedom Unite was. They had the mid tier. Where's the Bullfango?
Fuck them Bullfango.
You know.
Fucking Bullfango. Fuck.
I hate those things.
It's the worst part about Generations.
Was the nemesis. I mean, you in the full block. Oh yes, I'm gonna block this. Bullfango come from out of nowhere.
Thunk. Hey, you know
You
the
got
game
that-
did that shit on purpose.
Oh yes.
You got that Dragon Piercer shot, or the supers from the bowgun charged up and about to land that perfect hit. Bullfango hits you.
That's it. That's it.
Bullfango and Renopolos, Jdog's mortal enemies.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because the Iceborne is not going to be just ice. I'm predicting they're going to have a lower forest area, transitions to the mountains for ice, and there's going to be a new desert that's a deep desert and a volcano zone.
They said more locales. They didn't say just one. So yeah.
Is this
Because
are those your
hot
predictions?
drinks make you come back. Once you start seeing hot drinks, then you're going to be having to use them in day and night cycles like they did in Unite.
Oh yes. Like the hot dunes in the day, cold dunes in the night.
Yes.
Yeah, that'd be really awesome. Especially with the dynamic day-night cycle, where it can change from being day to night within a hunt. That would change
Yes,
stuff up so much.
That and weather effects, that's something new they can add because you're going to have a blizzard and whatnot. You still have rain. You have day and night cycles in World. They also have sandstorms and rain in the forest and whatnot.
What's that effect when you're climbing up to the peak after Kirin and it's all like misty and foggy? Is that just fog?
Yeah,
Clouds.
which is kind of it.
Clouds, yeah.
That's all because guess what? It rains in the not Rotten Vale. You knew that?
It rains what acid? They said it's in the lore somewhere.
In the upper area of the Rotten Vale, it rains. And I think then the steam goes up to the core highlands.
Oh, I see.
Fair enough.
Interesting.
Briario's Flame, more thoughts on this Iceborne expansion coming 2019?
Can I go into a coma and be asleep until the release date?
Right? That's what I'm thinking.
That's how I feel.
Well, go ahead.
We need more games to hold me off. We only have Anthem and Metro for like the first 3 months of the year.
Resident Evil
What
2?
about Resident Evil?
Well, there's that, but long games, grindy games. Resident Evil 2, unless they add a really cool like New Game Plus mode, that'd be sweet. But
Anthem?
I'm not hating on it.
What about Rage 2? That looks kind of good.
That's later. I think it's May or something.
Oh, is it
or
later?
March.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be Anthem and Division 2 going to be taking up most of the people's time.
Yeah.
Wait, aren't you guys going to be playing Fortnite?
Oh, no.
I'm gonna shoot myself in the foot and play that game.
Well, I am actually glad this is coming out later, 2019. That definitely gives me some time to work up to it. So
Yeah, well,
pretty happy
because
about that.
2019
Yeah.
is completely front loaded. So
Yeah.
But because they're taking their time with it, it will be huge. The G rank is basically going to be a whole nother game besides the expansion. The story mode, that's what we're playing in World right now. That's the offline mode. So that's the typical amount of hours you put in the story mode for a Monster Hunter game. And then the online mode was the bulk of the game. Because once you beat story, you didn't have to go back unless you needed materials. So, but G-Rank is a whole nother level.
Yeah. So you talk about these these story modes and this online play and all this different stuff. I don't know how I even want to phrase this. Let me think about how I want to phrase my question. Talk about give me more thoughts on some potential returning monsters we could see.
You got Rajang. He's in the ice.
Yeah, I keep seeing everybody asking for him, and I can't stand him.
Yes, so he's gonna have to make a little comeback. You have Tigrex. You got Nargacuga. You might have some Wii U monsters coming in.
3 Ultimate.
Balrog. Yep, Balrog. He might he's a nice monster.
Zenogre.
Yeah, Zenogre. He could come back in the forest and could be a turf war between Zenogre and Nargigante. I mean, not Nargigante, Nargacuga.
That'd be cool.
So what they're going to do is they're going to pair monsters that live in the same area to have a turf war. So that'll make sense. You're still going to have Joe running around stupid. So he's always going to be in there.
These will be around as well.
But that 15th anniversary could be a new Predator too. That's going to appear in ICEBORNE.
But Brachiosaurus.
Yeah.
I'd love to see
Brachiosaurus. The final monster will be a Fatalis.
Ooh.
It could be one, the original, the red or the white.
Ooh. White Fatalis would be fucking epic. Yeah. I would love that fight. Yeah. I would love that fight.
I'd like to see a Cantor or Ukanlos come back, or I probably slaughtered how you say that, but
you're fine.
Yeah.
So yeah, what about like Ukanlos? Wouldn't you guys like to see doesn't it seem like we'd finally have the the perfect platform to fight a giant monster like that?
Yeah. He was a pain in the ass though.
Yeah.
We have Xeno'jiiva. We know they can do it.
Yeah. Bree, your thoughts on that?
I think Fatalis and they would probably do it some big huge Elder Dragon battle, because Fatalis, because of the way of the Monster Hunter universe formed, that they made these subspecies. It wasn't original dragons. So the Elder Dragons and the Wyverians are both the same species, and the dragons used to talk back in the day. But what happened was whenever Elder Dragon died, they formed new land. So the Wyverians tried to create their own Elder Dragons so they could form new land, but they lost the speech, the ability to speak. And because they have all these subspecies started showing up, we have to hunt them to keep these dragons and Elder Dragons to a minimum, because if they overpopulated the world, then Fatalis would awaken to annihilate it. So that's the purpose where we hunt.
So Fatalis is a great badass.
Is the world ender. He would come in to destroy everything.
I learned something new every time I listen to you talk, Bree. A couple more questions here, and then we're going to wrap this up. How about this? Now, I know, Briarios, you kind of shared your thoughts on this before. How about the concept of a totally new, never-before-seen weapon? Don't you think it's about time we get a new weapon?
Yeah. I suggested the
Spartan
the spear,
right?
Yeah, like a Spartan. And may have a small melee weapon embedded in the shield. So you had for both type of spear and short sword combo. That's doable.
Let me ask you this: at that point, isn't it just a sword and shield clone?
You'd have to do more. It would have to be a technical weapon where you would jump in the air with your spear when you're charging, versus a lot more of than just poking at the monster, versus swiping and slashes with the spear.
Okay.
More reach. It'd probably be a cross between the a lance and the charge blade in that particular sense.
Flame, your thoughts?
Well, I have a couple things on that. Monster Hunter 4, we got the charge blade and the Unset Glaive. That was a main series game. And then we had Generations come, which was kind of a side game. They gave us the Prowler. Now we're back to the main development team making Monster Hunter World. So they kind of introduced a new weapon every past Monster Hunter game we've had for quite a while now. So I wouldn't be surprised if they tried to slip it in. My second thing is with the Monster Hunter weapon design contest they have coming up again for ICEBORNE. Like how we got the Wyvern Fire.
Yeah, the Wyvern Ignition.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like what we had that. Maybe when that comes up, coming closer to it, they might give us a little more info, possibly, if that were to happen. Or a trailer to help people, but then the artists would be out of a lot of time because they can make them now. But it'd be interesting to see if they gave us a tease towards it around then, or even with the weapon design contest winner. You could be like, hey, and you're getting this new weapon.
Hey, congratulations on winning this contest. By the way, you guys are getting this. This totally overshadows everything that we did here today.
Yep.
What about your, see, my idea for the weapon was you make, like, the heavy bowgun, like Mr. Freeze's weapon from that. Remember that? Everyone know what I'm talking about, Jdog?
Yeah, with the pack, like the...
Yeah, the
Yeah.
freeze shit and, like, slow it way down and stuff.
Like, I just feel like you could just have a mage, right? That has, like, elemental, like, freeze and fire and stuff and status effect city.
They kind of introduced that in Generations Ultimate.
Did
So
they?
they have the basis for it.
Yeah, so that's kind of why I'm thinking it.
Yeah, because they had the
Or I'm thinking a staff.
Yeah.
What if they had a staff?
They
Like,
already do. It's called an insect glaive.
oh yeah, they do kind of. You're right. But yeah.
No, in Dragon Ball Z staff.
Oh,
Yeah.
God. Oh, God.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Collaboration, you never know.
Well, they got Rajang coming back, maybe, so that could be like, you get his hair and you have, like, Dragon Ball Z cosplay right in the game.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Basically,
Back to the spear and shield, they could just do one of the animations. You could throw the spear at the monster and then run and pull it out of him, or do some kind of animation with your combo.
And you just have to use your shield after that.
Mm-hmm. Use your shield as a weapon.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's or they could come in, do some melee weapons where versus dual blades, you put some fists that can do some damage, and you basically getting up and close and personal,
Cestus
punching
style.
them.
Like War Cestus or
Yeah,
something. Yeah.
Cestus style.
Well, I think Monster Hunter World needs a axe and a war pike. Just saying. I'm not trying to copy any recent free-to-play hunting games here, but I think we need an axe and a war pike stat.
an offensive version of the hunting horn.
Ah, there we go.
I was just making fun of Dauntless, guys. I'm sorry.
I know. We could add revolvers.
Oh, yeah. What about twin revolvers, guys, right?
And a horsey to ride.
Great.
And a cowboy hat.
Fuck yeah.
The lasso.
Red Dead Monster Hunter.
Yeah. Oh my god, what a great crossover idea. And I'm done. I'll see myself out. Good night, everyone.
Briarios, any last thoughts on Iceborne that you'd like to share?
Well, I really would think that we're probably going to get a demo before it's actually released. a lot of news will come out of E3, but definitely Tokyo Game Show, if it's released before that or around that, we'll be seeing some more. But I'm definitely looking forward to what they're going to do, and we won't be disappointed.
Did Sony announce that they were not going to be at E3 this year?
Yes.
So do you think that will impact debuts of trailers at E3 for Monster Hunter's new content?
I think E3 it's too early, and they're shifting more things toward Gamescom and Tokyo Game Show. I think Gamescom is becoming like the new E3. It's probably cheaper for them to do it versus E3. Them renting out all these places in LA and whatnot. I'm not sure about the price and whatnot, but that's not cheap. Yeah. So they're probably gonna just switch their stuff to Gamescom and their PlayStation little festival. What they be doing every year?
Yeah,
it's focusing on that, and I don't think they're trying to keep a lot of their PlayStation 5 things on the wraps, because since consoles been out, E3, everybody knew what the next man doing. So if they say they're coming out with this one, then Xbox go back to the drawing board and say, "Oh, we made it's stronger than this one," and back and forth. So they're probably just waiting to try to hide their specs.
Interesting. All right, I just wanted to see I wanted to pick your brain on that and see what you thought. Briarios, if you had to estimate, because of course I'm going to trigger title the hell out of this video. If you had to estimate, how many hours do you think you have on Monster Hunter games combined?
Probably 15,000 hours.
Well, I'm a fucking rookie. I'm going to see myself out of this conversation. Good night, everybody. Jdog can finish this video.
Let me ask you this. How many new monsters do you actually think we'll get? And by new, I mean not in Monster Hunter World currently. Do you think we will get in the Iceborne expansion?
The main monsters or the sub monsters?
How many new total fights do you think we'll get?
I think another 30 to 40.
Whoa. Really? You think that many? Okay. I hope so.
Because the G rank, you're going to have alternate versions. We don't have any versions of Anjanath or any of the other ones. So you can have a ice type Anjanath. You already got the flame. You can have you got the gold and silver wraiths. The pink and azure. So if you look at the Wraithians, you got this for Rathalius. He has 3 versions: the regular, azure, and the silver. Wraithian, you have the green, you have the pink, and you have the gold. So each monster has to have 2 other subspecies. So if you look at the Tigrex, you just have him by himself, but I don't think he'll make the cut. But
Hellbender Tigrex, 1 million HP, 15 minutes. Good luck.
But you still Jan Cuckoo, he's gonna make a comeback. That's one from the first Monster Hunter. That was your first hunt. So I think he might make a debut. But I'm thinking 30 to 40 monsters. It's going to be a whole new game versus an expansion. It's going to be, as compared to the Monster Hunter World right now, I think it's going to be probably 3 times bigger than World in terms of monsters.
Well, I hope you're right.
You can even look at past games like Monster Hunter Generations, for example, which had, I think, 69 or 70 monsters, and the Generations Ultimate, which had 82. Generations already had a ton of past monsters and subspecies in it, so they didn't really have enough to build off of. But all their new monsters they added all got subspecies and all that kind of jazz. Or like with 4 to 4 Ultimate, or 3 Tri to 3 Ultimate. They added tons of subspecies and new things, so I support the 30, about 30 monsters.
Okay.
Mhm.
I hope you guys are right. I think that would be a nice bit to sink your teeth into.
Yeah,
It'd give you something more than just like the one or two things that have been kind of coming out, and this would really be something you could play for a substantial
Well,
period
especially
of time.
when we break down the fact that you're most likely, and I think this is guaranteed at this point, you're most likely going to be paying for Iceborne.
Yeah, you are.
They already said we are.
Yeah.
Now,
The
I was
price won't
talking to Flame about the fact that we're not supposed to be playing Monster Hunter World. In Japan, they technically would get the game first, and then when we would get it, we would have G rank attached to it. So we would get the original game plus G rank, and then they would get the game with G rank later. So we all got the game at the same time with the first level, the story mode added, and the true online mode would be G rank. That would be the Iceborne. So if we didn't get World, we would have gotten World and Iceborne combined as one unit a year later.
I'm glad we got it when we got it.
Yeah. So
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I just wanted to pick your guys' brains on that, see what kind of your thoughts were on Iceborne here a few weeks after the announcement. Briarios, I know I'm always glad to have you on chat here with us because, I mean, we call you the Veggie Elder for a reason. You know your shit, so definitely lots of respect for you and your knowledge. Flame, as usual, it's fantastic to have you here and have you a part of things with us. Before I wrap up the video, I'm going to ask one more time, is there anything else anybody would like to share?
I wasted too much life powders with you today on this. And
I barely needed any healing, except for the 4
Yes.
carts against the Kieran.
yes. So you
And
might
I
have to-
apologized for that, and I didn't cart much after that, did I?
I need about 30 honeys from you for that.
Pay up, bitch.
Son of a bitch! Flame, anything else you'd like to add? Other than how bad I sucked on the first quest today?
No, not really.
Okay.
I would just like to see in Iceborne, I'd like to see them do some weird twists they've done in the past, like deviants or a lot of new subspecies or variants and all that. I'm just excited for March to see what they have to slap in our face to make us shell out more money for them. I'm excited.
Yeah, the more we sit here, the more I think that 15th anniversary is going to be the Iceborne, another Iceborne trailer, their spring Iceborne trailer.
Yeah, they're absolutely going to talk about it.
Yeah.
At least mention it or show us a little more.
Cool. Fantastic.
For sure.
Fan-freaking-tastic. Well,
That's when
anyway,
the hype train starts.
yeah, well, the hype train started when we saw that trailer.
Maybe that's when the hype
That's
train leaves
true.
the station.
I think we're all here. We're all boarding the train right now, and we're just sitting there I can't wait to play. I can't wait to play. Hurry up, leave.
Yeah.
And Briarios is beating up the conductor and shit.
Trying to take over the train.
Do you guys remember how they gave us the very first trailer or two of Monster Hunter World didn't show a whole lot. It just kind of showed the area and to it, maybe a new monster, and then they started slamming trailers down like it was nothing, with a ton of new stuff in each of them. I feel like March is going to start us with that, with another little trailer, because we had a teeny tiny bit when Iceborne was announced. We're going to get a little cool trailer to introduce us a little more, and then trailer after trailer after trailer after trailer.
We didn't even see the initial Monster Hunter World trailer at E3 in 17. Dang bang, ding bing in the offline. He actually is the one that alerted us to the fact that that was coming out.
Well, that was before we were.
Yeah, that
YouTube
was before we were
sensations.
on YouTube every day.
Yeah.
Now we're way more up on things now that we're so.
It's true.
And
now that Flame and Briarios are in the chat, I mean, we can't miss it even if we try.
Yeah.
Blow
I
up
tell
your
you,
phone.
at D3, I was just sitting down, watching, waiting for something. And when I saw that sword, I was yelling like a teenage girl.
Oh, that's for me, Mom.
Listen to this. Briario's almost woke his whole house up with our crying video.
Would you like that shit, Brie?
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're going to wrap this up. I'm Neil with the Balding Plebs, joined here tonight by my brother,
Jdog.
the Kindle Master himself,
Dr. Flame.
and, of course, our very own Veggie Elder.
Yes.
Thank you guys for joining us for another Iceborne discussion, kind of discussing the possibility of Tigrex, if it's going to happen, when it's going to happen, or could March and that April time period just be the announcement maybe of more Iceborne knowledge, maybe a new trailer, something like that. But you guys can comment down below. Give us your thoughts on what you're thinking. Like the video if you enjoyed this honest discussion. And we will see each and every one of you right here next time for more content like this.
Good night, everyone.
Flamer, Briarios, you wanna say the tagline?
GG, you plebs.